Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. A major twist has shaken global politics. Just when many believed the United States was preparing another round of military strikes against Iran, President Donald Trump announced that those planned attacks have been canceled, for now. But there's a condition. Trump says the strikes will remain off the table only if a peace agreement is reached rapidly. Is this a genuine opportunity for diplomacy, or simply another pause before tensions rise again? Let's break down exactly what happened, what it means for Iran, Israel, the Middle East, oil prices, and the rest of the world. According to President Trump, the United States had prepared significant military action against Iran. However, after discussions involving several Middle Eastern countries, he announced that the operation would not proceed immediately. Trump stated that a framework for negotiations had been outlined and said the military action would remain suspended if a final agreement could be reached quickly. The announcement marks another major shift in a conflict that has seen repeated cycles of escalation followed by renewed diplomatic efforts. Why did Trump change his mind? Several reasons may have influenced the decision. First, regional leaders reportedly encouraged Washington to allow diplomacy more time before taking military action. Second, another military strike could have intensified instability across the Middle East.
Listen up, people. We've got a breaking news report. Donald Trump stated that every person from the USA in the Middle East should leave the area immediately because a massive attack on Iran was pending, not seen since World War II type of event. However, now a ceasefire is being brokered right as I'm talking to you and telling you this story. The crazy thing about this is it does really need to stop, because the constant attack on oil infrastructure throughout the world is massively impacting everything that we buy, from food to fuel, absolutely everything. If this continues for much longer, it's gonna basically be World War III. Are we already there yet? What are you saying, people?
Taco Trump again. I want to call Donald Trump out. Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social that he was locked and loaded. The United States was ready for this massive attack against Iran, but Iran has told him and other Middle Eastern countries, maybe other Middle Eastern countries, but Iran has said basically they're interested in talking about opening the Strait of Hormuz, blah, 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 blah. That's not true. Every source that I can search says Iran has agreed, and I've Googled everything, Iran has agreed to absolutely nothing with the United States. That is just not true. Donald Trump, again, as usual, he threatens these big attacks, and then he does nothing. Donald, you can only cry wolf so many times. You can only do so many of these threats when everybody knows you're not going to do anything. For one, we don't have the missiles and the munitions to do it because you and Pete Hegseth already used them up in Israel. It's gotten us absolutely nowhere after going on 6 months of war with Iran. We've got the Strait of Hormuz closed that we need open. They've got the Bab el-Mandeb Strait closed that we need open and Saudi Arabia needs open. Were to hit them, as you talked about hitting all their energy infrastructure, guess what? They were going to hit in Saudi Arabia, Abqaiq, 7% of the world's oil is refined there. Yeah. That's what we need, that to go offline on top of all the other oil not available. So, Donald, complete bullshit as usual. It's like all those accusations about the reflecting pool, that was complete bullshit too. Taco Trump again, what can you expect? Everybody knows what to expect by now. Old dog needs to learn some new tricks, but I don't think it's possible. You know what you think? Not even Taco Tuesday.
President Trump has threatened Iran with massive bombardment. Bombing Iran into the Stone Ages still is something that people in Tehran talk about and indeed laugh at. And so this is becoming somewhat of a pattern from the United States.
And yet we are seeing more activity from the Iranian proxies. We've had drone attacks in Saudi Arabia, gas tankers hit in Egypt. Do you get the sense that Iran is stepping up its attacks?
Indeed. In fact, Iran does not mind what would be a war of attrition. They want to see a prolonged conflict whereby the costs of America's military presence in the region, not just the war on Iran, but its military presence, would be prohibitive and would result in the United States withdrawing from at least the Persian Gulf, if not the rest of the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk of the US planning these attacks in conjunction with Israel. It would have been the first Israeli attacks in Iran since the initial phase of the war. And now Trump is saying that Israel has also committed to new talks. Do you get the sense that Trump is imposing his will on Benjamin Netanyahu on this?
Certainly. The Israelis would not mind a reignition of a major conflict with Iran. But the Americans have been much more pragmatic. We have heard reports that American weapons are running low. We have seen that the costs here in the region of Iranian bombardment is extremely high. And so there's a very different perception in Washington than there is in Israel. And the United States has once again appeared to have prevailed on Israel not to reignite a full-scale war on Iran.
Mehran Kamrava, Professor, Georgetown University in Qatar. Always good to get your thoughts. Thanks very much.
This is not just an American or Iranian issue. If conflict expands, oil prices could rise sharply. Global markets could become more volatile. Shipping routes through the Gulf could be disrupted. International security concerns would increase. That explains why many countries are encouraging negotiations rather than another military confrontation. Several outcomes are possible. Scenario 1. Negotiators successfully reach a peace agreement. Military action is avoided. Regional tensions ease. Scenario 2. Talks collapse. The United States could reconsider military options. Scenario 3. Negotiations continue without a final breakthrough, creating ongoing uncertainty for the region. At this stage, the situation remains fluid and developments could change quickly. Final thoughts. This announcement has dramatically changed expectations. Many analysts were anticipating another round of military action. Diplomacy has been given another opportunity. Whether this leads to lasting peace or only delays further conflict will depend on what happens in the coming days. What do you think? Did President Trump make the right decision by canceling the strikes? Or do you believe military pressure was necessary? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more international news and global affairs updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.